Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to my friends. Today I'm going to teach you how to boost self-confidence and build customer relationships with two selling skills. How I learned two key skills, empathy and vulnerability, that boost self-confidence and build better customer relationships. Now be sure and stay tuned to the end of the video so you can grab your copy of the Small Business Growth Method Roadmap. It's my simple three-step method for creating a constant flow of leads, consistent and predictable sales, and a thriving business. Okay, so let's dive into it. Recently I was asked by a client, what is the number one skill I need to excel at marketing and sales? That's a big question, and there's definitely a lot there to unpack. I think that the answer to this can change over a period of time. For instance, the skills that were successful in the early 90s before social media may not really apply today. It's a buyer's market today. Prospects have endless choices and information at their fingertips via the internet. They have a constant flow of peer influencers voicing their opinions and social media about products and services. We've seen the power of social media to destroy brands virtually overnight. Just last Friday, Yeti Coolers decided to withdraw support from the NRA. Who buys Yeti? It's middle American sportsmen and outdoors people, enthusiasts who own guns. Over the weekend, Yeti suffered huge losses due to the rants of NRA supporters on social media. Whoops. Now, remember the debacle last year over United Airlines having a customer removed from an overbooked flight by force by the police? It was a PR nightmare on social media. Now, so here are the two key skills that I have learned from my 20 years of experience that boost self-confidence and build customer relationships. Number one is empathy. We have to really empathize with our target audience. In other words, we need to walk a mile in their shoes and really get to know and understand their story. We have to intimately know what their greatest desires and what they fear most are. We need to understand their pain points and how that pain motivates them to take action. What are their false beliefs and how can we replace those false beliefs with new belief patterns that will motivate them to take action? After all, action only comes after someone believes in something. A word of warning here though. Don't be tempted to confuse what you think the customer needs with what the customer actually wants and desires. I have a great story about two different book launches where one publisher only arrogantly gave what they believed the customer needed versus another publisher who gave the customer exactly what they wanted. Completely different outcomes. But, I'm going to save that story for another video, not this time. Okay, number two, vulnerability. Do you remember all those cheesy marketing and sales videos with guys driving around in super exotic cars, big fancy homes, throwing money around and spending money like water? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, they were trying to sell an image, but the problem was that the image, most of the time, was fake. It was fake and everyone knew it. But now, thanks to social media, buyers are far more educated. They are not fooled by it and can spot a fake a mile away. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. In order to develop a relationship of trust, you have to connect with your prospects. To connect with your audience, you have to show vulnerability. It's okay to make mistakes. It lets your prospects know you are just like them. Back in 2005, when I went from the extreme sports industry to medical devices and women's health, I learned a very important phrase. It was, I don't know, but I'll research it and get back to you in 3 days. Instead of trying to fake my way through an answer, which clinicians would pounce on in an instant, I settled for saying, I don't know, but then I would set a time frame to get back with them. This gave me an excuse to have an additional positive interaction with the clinicians. Even if I did not have the answer, I would still follow up with them at the appointed time and report on my progress. This showed vulnerability and consequently won me the respect of many clinicians and doctors. So how can you put empathy and vulnerability to work in your business today? Here's a powerful script I learned from Ryan Deiss. You can use it as a template. Change it to suit your particular situation if you need to. One of the most powerful things you can say to your prospects is what I call the perfect offer. It goes something like this. Well, number one, you know how, insert your emotion. It is when, insert a before state. Then empathize and say, I get it. I've been there before too. And that's why I created XYZ product. Now you want to imply ownership or take the next step. Once you have it, once you've completed it, or once you're a client or as a member, you'll achieve, now insert your ideal after state. It's really a perfect offer. We create an empathetic connection when we say, you know how it is when, and insert whatever you want in that space. Then we show vulnerability with, you know, I get it. I've been there before too. We've been in the same state as our prospects, and now we're connecting with them on an emotional level. But here's a word of warning. Be honest, don't lie. Only say it if you've actually experienced it before. Okay, now you have my two key skills, empathy and vulnerability, as well as the perfect offer script template. Well, I could go on and on about it, but I could, I should have, I go on more and I should share more examples, but I will in future videos. Now, as I promised, here's the link to grab your free copy of the Small Business Growth Method Roadmap, my 3 simple steps to predictable growth. It's my 3-step method for creating a constant flow of leads, consistent and predictable sales, and a thriving business. Just visit freakysmartmarketing.com/roadmap. It's my gift to you. Also, I'd like to know how I can improve my videos. What can I do to help you today? What are you currently struggling with? Now, if you have a question or you want to shoot me a little email, just feel free to contact me directly at david@freakysmartmarketing.com. Now, just get out there and get this stuff done. I'll see you in the next video.